Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Tuesday the 15th of February. I'm going to use the Golden Tarot of the Renaissance for today's reading. Let's see what the cards have to say about Tuesday and what the day is going to be like. Right, so the first card is the Ace of Wands. Lovely. Then we've got the Knight of Wands. Wow, lots of fire. And then finally, the Six of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay, so before I look at the actual card meanings, we've got three very different people here. Oh, one very different type of person. Look at the feet. Then we've got a knight who's in the middle of something completely different. And then we've got someone sitting up in a tree and enjoying the sunshine. So I get that there'll be lots of people in your life, people with different opinions, different viewpoints. The key thing I feel is to be open-minded, to be willing to listen and to be willing to learn. Because I feel that if you're willing and open to connecting with opposites or people who you don't usually mesh with quite well, I think the outcome is going to be super, super positive for everybody involved. So that's the first thing. Then we've got an Ace card, which is a minor arcana card, so a temporary blessing and a gift from the universe. Another minor arcana card about balance and sometimes being up and sometimes being down, but being able to make the most of it. So resilience and a productivity. And then finally, a court card, which is often a quality that you feel arising from within. And the Knight of Wands is super passionate about what he wants to do with his life. And things that at other times may seem difficult, he's able to kind of power through. The only problem is that he can be extreme. He can be a little bit of a hothead, short fuse, but he certainly has the drive to get things done. So the point of the Knight is to manage that energy effectively. So either you'll run into someone who is like that, who's very passionate about something. If you have the opportunity to help that person out, if you are in the position where you can extend a helping hand, that's going to benefit both of you. So I don't know, as an example, if someone's coming to you for an internship and it's possible that you could have an intern and would actually be quite useful, then really consider it in earnest. Because like I said, it'll be a mutually beneficial relationship. Okay, so the Ace of Wands is a blessing when it comes to the element of fire, which is a masculine element, and is all about your life purpose and what makes you feel alive and passionate. And here we've got someone who's enjoying the sunshine. So there's a sense of happiness and control, and like you're able to rise above your circumstances and things aren't overly difficult. And that's echoed by him sitting in this tree. Because most of us walking around in nature will look at the trees and admire the nature and stuff and say, isn't this great? But very few of us will climb a tree and then rest up there. And the message I'm getting from that is that things which may seem impossible to other people are really easy for you, especially on this day. So if something comes naturally, go for it, do it. And if other people don't understand how you're making such progress and how you're so naturally gifted, then that's for them to figure out. It's got nothing to do with you. He's dressed in red and blue and kind of beigey brown. So I feel that the beigey brown and these kind of leaves, to me, they say autumn. And autumn is about winding down. So he's going against the natural flow of things, because the Ace of Wands is about powering up. It's about spring. It's not about calming things down. The red is the passion and the drive. Blue is feeling and strength of emotion. And then again, this kind of beigey color is about being connected with your natural, authentic self. So if you feel like you're going against the grain somehow, that actually is a sign that you're on the right track. It's not meant to come easily. There's some inherent conflict involved. But if you're someone who is found it difficult to find an area of interest or something to get excited about, then it's easy for you to experience that, first of all, and to have that penny drop moment that says, hey, this is something that I love to do. And usually in my experience, it's something that you already do in life, that you do free of charge just as a hobby, and that you do quite a few days a week. And look at those kind of things and what you're most passionate about, and see how you could expand on those or do something more with them, because it already provides you with some pleasure. If you engage with it even more and grow it, you'll get more out of it. So then we've got the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is usually on this super fiery horse. He's the one knight really who gallops into the battle, ultimately what the knights are for, right? In a reasonable way. The Knight of Swords, he chases that poor horse half to death. The eyes are bulging and it's usually got wings and things. The Knight of Pentacles, he just sits there. He doesn't move at all because he can't decide whether he should act or not. What comes naturally to the Knight of Wands is this realization that I do need to act. There's a certain momentum going on in my life. I've got good things happening that I can be grateful for. I've got a lot of control over my circumstances, so why not act? I feel good, I'm ready and amazing. And then the knight, he goes into battle, and he's going to make a great contribution for his side. He seems capable, he seems confident. Here it seems a bit different. It's almost like a school mom kind of training a horse, for like dressage or to prevent it from bucking or whatever. So there's a sense of discipline involved here, which is very unusual for the knight because the nature is to be extreme and all over the place. So I think you can keep a lid on your anger, and you're able to turn relationships where usually you may have some suspicion. Look at the eyes, beady little eyes looking over there, and she's kind of looking somewhere completely different. He just seems kind of, what's he focusing? No one in particular. So if something seems not to make sense, first and foremost, I keep getting that if someone else doesn't make sense to you, doesn't mean that you can't see eye to eye on other things or that you can't be together or work together. Keep at that. And then because of the discipline element of the knight, usually things that would get on your nerves don't. You're able to handle them very well. Now this card I'm very interested in because of the claws. Because that concept has always really appealed to me. Like you get this trope, the beautiful woman who's somehow monstrously flawed. That kind of archetypal character you get a lot in kind of horror stories. And the characters who are good and innocent, like Frankenstein to be, like who are innocent and willing to learn starting out, then realize that they are monstrous, especially when they come into contact with other people, and how hideous that feels and how difficult it can be to accept the self. And I think that's something we can all relate to. We all feel monstrous in certain ways, and it's just like, how am I supposed to operate with this? It's just like, it doesn't work. She's got no problems with it. She's wearing a mini skirt here. She's like, check out my claws. I'm gorgeous. She's body positive. She's not bothered. Look, she's calm. She's putting her hand up. She's giving money away. So the message is that it doesn't matter what you've been given or what you are or how you perceive it. If you get practical and you say, do you know what? At least I can walk. I'm going to get on with it. And she's not just getting on with it. She's celebrating these legs and these claws. She's saying, to hell with convention. I don't care what other people think. I'm going to work these things. I'm surprised she hasn't painted them red. So embrace your flaws. Get on with it anyway, and you can create your own opportunities. Nobody's perfect. We all have things that are problematic. And the message is that not only can you get on with things and act despite your perceived flaws, but you can actually thrive and win. with feet like this. The thing that was bothering me before is he's kind of moodily glaring off into the down here. That's very unlike the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is like, let's move it, let's go, let's focus on something in particular. He's resting. It's a contradiction. And he's made all the effort to climb the tree. That makes no sense because you can just as well rest on the ground. There's no flood anywhere. So he is at odds with himself a little bit. And that's the same message of the Six of Pentacles, being at odds with yourself, even though she's totally chill. A lot of us would have a problem with this. So things that don't make sense about you, see how you can work those to your advantage. You know, the only example I can think of, you know, back in the day, they used to have those traveling freak shows, they were called. And they always had, you know, people like with these extreme body types. And I mean, that's exploitative and not so great. But I think, when did they do those? In the like 1880s to 1930s or something? Could be wrong about those dates. Around that time, I think. People weren't as sensitive, you know, and people with these kind of they weren't able to get normal jobs a lot of the time. So even though it wasn't ideal, it was something they could use to their advantage in a way and disadvantage. So you could argue, you know. So I don't know how good of an example that is, but the message is basically, no matter how horrid you feel about something, you can turn it around and get it to work in your favor. And if things don't make sense, you can continue on regardless. Not everything has to make sense all the time. Wow, I need to put that on a pillow somewhere. That's a good one. I like that. Okay. Number-wise, we've got the Knight, that's 1. The Ace, that's another 1. 1 and 1 is 2. And 6 is 8. And 8 is strength and power. So you have the power to face yourself, to accept yourself, to celebrate yourself, the power to move on with your life and to be enthusiastic despite these things. And that kind of says, even if you can't move beyond everything, it certainly doesn't have to stop you. Wow. Okay. So this is like a quick lesson in self-acceptance. I love it. Okay. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website, gregoryscott.com. On the front page, scroll down a little bit until you get to the Book Your Readings button. Click on that to order your reading with me. I use astrology, the tarot, and numerology in my personal readings. So if you have any questions about yourself, your life, work, anything at all, please do get in touch. And if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.